Bunny is an American
that's not
citizen.
the point,
Bad
Geraldo.
Bunny,
Geraldo, we're not talking about his immigration status. That's no.
Who are
Hold
you
on,
talking?
hold on.
Who are you talking?
Please,
You're making
please.
a division. You're making a division.
Borders.
No, listen,
and
Andrew, I know what it is.
I could go for days on that one.
I know
that
you
is the
could.
most bastardized part of Scripture in the modern era, completely.
We can hit it, but it's only 60%. And
I'm just
among
saying,
the 60%,
they're calling that nonviolent crime, embezzlement, solicitation of a minor.
Well, but overwhelmingly, half of it is the first time illegal entry into the country, which is a misdemeanor. The cops don't stop us and start smacking us around because how you enforce the law matters.
Of course it does.
That's an important distinction.
And I agree with you on that. But this is a 3-hour-long conversation that we'll have 100%. Another time.
So in this clip, we are going to see Chris Cuomo and Geraldo Rivera shut down Turning Point USA's spokesperson's point in regards to Bad Bunny's halftime performance, as well as the state of ICE and immigration in the United States. As usual, let's watch the clip in full. I'm going to sprinkle my perspective throughout, but I'm going to give it mainly towards the end. Let's get into it.
Let's bring in Turning Point USA spokesperson Andrew Kolvet and one of the most well-known Boricua, Puerto Rican American, Geraldo Rivera. There he is. Geraldo, let me get your take on Bad Bunny. What did you make of the questioning of him only speaking Spanish or the imagery? What did you take away from it?
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just...
That's so silly. Would you have an Italian tenor translate the opera? It is. I can't see why this aversion to Spanish. This was an exuberant, lovely, happy, embracing, a wonderful tribute to the Latinos, to Puerto Rico, to the sugarcane people, to family, to togetherness. I don't understand what the big problem was, and I don't know why Turning Point USA picked this fight. Why did they? You talk about division. The division came from one side. Turning Point USA, with due respect, and I have great respect for Erica Kirk and Charlie Kirk. I met a couple of times at the Hannity Green Room. Great guy. I supported his image, his character when he was assailed shortly after the assassination. This is about being together. Bad Bunny is a terrific performer. He's #1 in every chart all over the country, all over the world. You'll never have a dominant performance like this again. 135 million people to first go through. There'd be more people than watch the game for sure, Chris.
So, Andrew, you guys had a record number of people also. And let's put the business stuff to the side, but what do you think people were responding to?
Yeah, and, I just want to quickly respond to what Geraldo said, with all due respect. I don't feel like we were trying to pick a fight at all. We weren't trying to sow division. There was a lot of people wanted a different alternative. We responded. There's no agenda. There was no hate. We weren't, coming after him. We just said, listen.
Wait. How come not for Snoop, not for Eminem, not for Dr. Dre, not for Usher, not for Rihanna, not for Maroon 5? Why?
Well, that's where you're wrong,
now?
actually.
Why for Bad Bunny?
Yeah, well, I mean.
And I just want to say really quick, that's really what it comes down to. We know the reason as to why. Him trying to insinuate that they didn't try and pick a fight. Of course he did. Because for many years, over 2 decades, there's been somebody who performs at the Super Bowl, but MAGA and the right weren't happy because it was going to be a Spanish-speaking individual who stands up and calls out the United States, and they don't like that. That's the reason as to why they chose to create an alternative, which, in essence, is picking a fight, because there wasn't a fight there to be had in the first place.
Actually, it was funny. We discovered this when we were putting this event together, Geraldo, is that we saw tweets from Charlie that would go back to 2012 with 1 like, 2014, 1 like, and he would go viral again and again and again. And I think, listen, this was just one of those things where a lot of elements came together. And, listen, I speak Spanish. I have Hispanic in my background. There's no issue, right? But a lot of people, whether you like to admit it or not, they don't want to listen to music on the biggest stage in the country that's only in Spanish. So I heard that more than anything. They didn't like it. And here's what else I'll say.
What
We
if it
didn't
was
come after
how about
anybody.
an Irish
Hold on,
jig?
let me finish.
How
Let me
about
finish.
a Hofbrau in Germany? I just, well, okay, finish.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we didn't come after anybody. We didn't have any agenda. It was literally just their songs, good music. And Kid Rock wrote an extra verse to Till You Can't that, you know, talks about his faith in Jesus and putting your life in Jesus' hands. I mean, it was pretty raw stuff. And guess what? I mean, we're going to give you a final number later this week because we're still waiting for streams to come in and the analytics to come in and some of the OTT stuff, the fast channel analytics. But we're probably going to be in the range of about 40 to 50 million eyeballs. We have a third-party data company that's working on doing it because nobody's going to take my word for it. But Nielsen usually gives it about 2.5 per view per household because everybody's watching in groups. That puts us over that number, actually.
Right.
So, you know, you can be upset about it, but there's millions of people that felt underserved, that felt like this was a thumb in the nose of regular Americans.
That's the part that you just put your finger on it. And look, I watched, okay? Unlike the president's viewing party, I was absolutely going back and forth trying to check it out because of our relationship and, you know, as part of the job. There was absolutely a tone, pro-America, 100%, pro-Christian, 100%. Bad Bunny is bad was also an undercurrent in it. That there was something about the messaging, that's what the president picked up on, that there's something insulting about what he was doing to Americans. And Andrew, I don't get it two ways. I don't get it in a place that's all about miscegenation and a Christian following. Who is more sympathetic or supposed to be to the immigrant and to the fallen and to the needy than Christians? I don't get that.
Yeah, no, I'm actually glad you brought that up because there's actually a lot of bad theology. Yeah, you should be compassionate and kind to the sojourner in your land, the foreigner, absolutely. But in Scripture, it also delineates that God created borders. God likes order. It doesn't say you have to just ignore your immigration laws. Okay, so that's
Bad
one.
Bunny is an American.
Just really quick, what I don't understand about these people, these Christians, is this. When I take a look at everything and I take a look at situations like these and I think to myself, something I grew up, my parents are Christians. WWJD, my dad would always say that to me. What would Jesus do? If you've got people that are coming to your country for a better life, because the country that it is that they're coming from, there's a lot of war or there's a lot of famine or there's a lot of destruction. A lot of these things that I must say, the United States has had a hand in, as well as my country, the United Kingdom. I have the same argument with people here too. But people are coming for a better life. What would be the, like, I don't see Jesus turning those people away and sending them back. I don't see Jesus taking out a gun and shooting them and shooting people and grabbing people off of the street and whatnot, especially if they haven't done anything wrong there. From what I know and what I remember of Jesus, I believe Jesus would be welcoming to these individuals, open his arms and help them. Not say, you crossed the border illegally, we're going to ship you back. I mean, that's just what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.
Citizen.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny is an American
That's not
citizen.
the point, Geraldo. We're not talking about his immigration status. That's no.
Who are you talking? Who are you talking?
Please,
You're making a division. You're making a division. You're quoting the scriptures to say that you have to have a language that's understood.
No. Geraldo, please hear my heart, Geraldo. Okay,
go ahead. Geraldo, let him make the case. Go ahead.
I'm not talking about his immigration status. I'm talking about him going to the Grammys and saying "ice out." I'm saying he told the country that you have 4 months to learn Spanish. I'm not trying to pick a fight with him. Just to be clear, I did not put those words in the president's mouth. All I am saying is there's a lot of people that felt a certain way about the selection of the halftime show. And listen, I'm not going to be able to stop them from feeling that way. What we can do is give them an uplifting option, and a lot of people wanted that option. It was pro-America. It was America 250. It was pro-God. There's nothing wrong with any of this. I think this is just the market doing what the market does, and I've just never been so overwhelmed with people so grateful that we did something that they could get their family behind. And by the way, Geraldo, before you say that this act is all wholesome and good, you should translate some of his songs to English before you make that assumption. They're really raunchy songs, and there's a reason you can sing them in Spanish and not in English. The FCC would have come down on him.
Yeah, not.
But Kid Rock, do your research about him, speaking about underage girls in some of his songs. You know, everyone can try this old Christian, giving my heart to Jesus shtick nowadays. It's just something that the right do. A lot of these people believe that Donald Trump is a Christian, God-fearing man. When everybody knows he's nothing, like, it couldn't be further from the truth, you know? But Kid Rock's got music just like that as well.
Last night's version, though. But look, I get it. I mean, look, Kid Rock ain't exactly known as Sunday school material either.
Exactly.
That was a beautiful, beautiful, like story though. That you saw his start.
He definitely
and then
put together something different. I'm not coming at Bob. I'm just saying he did something different last night. So did Bad Bunny. I'll tell you one thing though, Andrew. You're going to have competition next year. You're going to have competition because now that they know that there is money to be had in streaming as an alternative at the halftime, it's going to come.
I think you're right. I think this has changed the landscape forever, Chris. And I would just say, hey, to the Cabela's, to the Chevys of the world, listen, I think there is a line that we drew in the sand this year, and I think it was important because a lot of people have been feeling left out for a long time. This was not a one-year phenomenon. But we'll say, hey, help us make this even bigger and better.
Oh, great. Geraldo, go ahead. Last word to you,
President Trump called it disgusting, the worst ever. This is just days after the Obamas were portrayed as apes. And he thinks that this tone of racism won't affect the midterm elections. It is going to poison everything. And those of us who seek to exacerbate that division, shame on us going forward.
And don't you guys think it's interesting? The right are more angry at the fact that Bad Bunny performed at the Super Bowl halftime show than the fact that the President of the United States, the most powerful man in the entire world, shared a racist meme. It just goes to show you about the right, you know. Their heads are just not in the right place whatsoever. They're more angry at Bad Bunny performing at the halftime show than the fact that the current Department of Justice and Trump's administration are protecting PDFs. Come on, man. Like, what's going on here?
Scriptures should be for everybody to be included.
I remember Jesus said, "Thou shalt have a green card, or you must go with home." I remember that. 315, or as the president would say, 315.
Come on, Chris. We'll debate scripture and borders.
No, listen, Andrew, I know what it is.
I could go for days on that one.
I know
that
you
is the most bastardized part of scripture in the modern era, completely.
I know.
There's a lot of
I know it is.
contenders.
It's also for me different than for you. It's a guideline. There's stories.
I know it's your heart, Chris. It's all good, but
and
you
I'm
gotta
saying,
have rules too.
and you don't have to own Trump. Listen, the country is clear. Okay, secure the border. If you have violent, undocumented migrants, find them and take them. How you do it matters.
Exactly.
And that is a clear mandate from this country. We'll see how it plays out in the midterms. Yeah, I got you. There's no question.
From the worst to the worst, they went for grandma.
There's no question. I put the data out earlier. That's why they're hiding the data. But Andrew, that's not on you.
Can we hit the data? All right.
Yeah, I mean,
burglary, fraud, DUI, child pornography.
We can hit it, but it's only 60%. And
I'm just
among
saying,
the 60%,
they're calling that nonviolent crime, embezzlement, solicitation of a minor.
Well, but overwhelmingly, half of it is the first time illegal entry into the country, which is a misdemeanor, and 40% of them were civil overstays. Look, again, Andrew. This is an easy but perverted argument, which is, and I mean that in the tactical sense, which is nobody's against securing the border unless they're an idiot, okay? Nobody's against ICE enforcing the law. Even that defund the police thing, ICE out is different for these people. First of all, it has a budget now that's bigger than Israel's defense fund. So it's a different argument, but if I'm you, I don't think you want to own that. You want to be pro-America, that's fine. You want to say, hey, we're for the people who think I should do it any way they want. I don't think you're going to get a lot of ad dollars for that.
Do we have laws, Chris?
100%.
Do we have laws?
100%. And they're meaningless if you don't enforce them.
Puerto Ricans have citizenship.
And yes, they do.
Puerto Ricans are citizens.
Puerto Ricans absolutely do.
That. My goodness.
But put it this way. When you and I are in the car and we're in a hurry to get to the boat and we're speeding, the cops don't stop us and start smacking us around because how you enforce the law matters.
Of course it does.
That's an important distinction.
And I agree with you on that. But this is a 3-hour-long conversation that we'll have another time.
100%.
Honestly, guys, like I said, I will leave the link in the description below to the full exchange here. But even on that last point, this is what I continuously speak about. Like, these people are just the worst of the worst. And this is the reason why I'm sorry. I can't sit here and accept in good faith that these people care about Christianity and care about God. The fact that racism is a small problem to these guys versus the way that it is that they're treating their fellow human being speaks volumes. The fact that the Epstein files are a small situation in comparison to how they treat their fellow human beings, it speaks volumes about the right, and it comes from the top down. And you can see, look at the way that Donald Trump is. This is a person that has no humility, he has no humanity about him. He's not kind in any way, shape, or form. This guy's an evil guy. At Charlie Kirk's funeral, what did he say? He got on there on stage, and at a time where most other presidents would have chose to bring the country together, what did he just turn around and do? He turned around and says, "I'm not like Erica. I hate my enemies." And that just speaks volumes of Donald Trump and who he is and what he stands for and how it is that he conducts himself. But it should be no shock or no surprise, because this is who he is. And it now comes down into the rest of the right. Take a look at Megyn Kelly on Piers Morgan yesterday. I'll be doing a video about that at some point as well. Look at the way she went on, the absolute meltdown that she had, just because of the fact that Bad Bunny performed at the halftime show, and because American athletes are exercising their First Amendment right and speaking out against the United States of America. These people are really troubled, honestly. And as an outsider looking in, you know what I'm going to say? Let them continue, because I honestly believe they are going to pay the absolute price at the ballot box in the midterms. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this exchange down in the comment section below. As I said, I will leave the link to the full exchange in the comment section below, because there's a bit more after this and there was some before it. If you guys are interested in clips like this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you guys as part of our family on our march to 100,000 subscribers. And then last but not least, do me a favor, just hit the thumbs up button purely for the YouTube algorithm and just help support this channel. I'm trying to really play my part in regards to what's happening and the way that Donald Trump is leading the world, because he really is shifting and changing the way that the world is. So just do me a favor and hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification, and just consider supporting the channel any way that you can. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.